Good evening and welcome to this week's sports edition of Midstate Magazine. I'm Brent Javals.
And I'm Dale Haimski. Now let's take a look at the news.
Sunday, April 6th marked the season 4 premiere of Games of Thrones. The premiere beat the show's previous record, averaging 6.6 million viewers. The episode marked HBO's biggest audience for any program since the 2007 finale of The Sopranos. Street crews have been working to scoop mud that poured off a hillside onto the one lane of Illinois Route 29 just north of War Memorial Drive last Thursday morning. The southbound driving lane was covered in more than 3 inches of standing water that began to seep into the northbound lanes around 6 p.m. The National Weather Service in Lincoln, Illinois reported regional amounts of 3.23 inches of rain northwest of Peoria, 3.38 inches northwest of Germantown Hills, and 4.31 inches in Peoria Heights after the Wednesday night rain and hailstorms.
U.S. Navy equipment has picked up signals consistent with the pings from aircraft black boxes. This discovery is the farthest lead in the past month for the missing Malaysia Airlines plane. Angus Houston, the head of a joint agency coordinating the search in the South Indian Ocean, called it very encouraging, but warned it may take days to confirm whether signals picked up by the ship Ocean Shield are indeed from the flight records on Flight 370.
As the weather gets warmer, it is time for that time of year again.
Construction season. Let's check in with our reporter for another update.
The water main break that broke here on the corner of University and Main is finally being fixed. With construction underway, Bradley University's Interim Vice President of Student Affairs, Nathan Thomas, believes this is going to be a much safer and pedestrian-friendly environment.
The people that it benefits the most is Bradley students because it's going to be a much more pedestrian-friendly area. It's going to be a lot easier for the students to get across Main Street, across University, into those businesses, and it's going to be a lot safer intersection.
Mike Rogers, director of Peoria's Public Works Department, believes now is the time to make big changes to this highly dangerous and busy intersection. Over 2,000 concepts have been viewed, but Rogers believes the plans in place will be beneficial in many ways to the surrounding area.
When we looked at those plans, this intersection was a part of it, and it talked about reducing the speeds in this area, trying to make it more pedestrian friendly, trying to create more economic opportunities in this area, making it green.
Safety is the main concern, but not the only thing that will be affected. This new construction will cause for the road to go down from 5 lanes to 3, and many drivers will have to find alternative routes to get around the area.
Traffic may be slower through the area, but we're trying to balance things. We know we have a heavy pedestrian movement here, and we want that as safe as possible, but for that safety, there is a cost, and that cost is the vehicle has to slow down within the area.
Construction is on track to be completed by the deadline day of May 10th. Weather permitting, the construction will be finished for Bradley move-out and May graduation. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Kyle Miller.
Thank you, Kyle. Now let's go to Spencer with sports.
Thank you, Danielle. After a rough sophomore season, Oklahoma State guard Marcus Smart will enter the NBA draft. Smart decided to stay with the team after his freshman season, foregoing the NBA for a possible run at the NCAA tournament. His season took a controversial turn when he pushed a Texas Tech fan in a game in February, earning a 3-game suspension. The point guard averaged 18 points and 6 rebounds a game for the team, which lost in the second round of the tournament. The Cleveland Browns have made a significant addition to their offense. Wide receiver Nate Burleson signed a 1-year deal with the team last week. The 32-year-old finished his 11th season in the NFL last year, catching 39 passes for 461 yards and a touchdown in 9 games for the Detroit Lions. A third-round pick back in 2003 out of Nevada, the receiver has bounced around between the Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, and the Lions, amassing a career total of more than 5,600 yards and 39 touchdowns. A major part of the University of Missouri's football team has been suspended indefinitely. Wide receiver Dorial Green-Beckham was suspended last week for violating team policies, and the suspension includes practices and team activities. Back in January, Green-Beckham received a 1-game suspension after police found a pound of marijuana in a car in which he was a passenger. Reports tie the suspension to a Columbia police investigation that is ongoing. That's all for sports. Let's head back to Danielle.
Thanks, Spencer. Managing battery power can be the most frustrating part of owning a smartphone. Phone batteries typically last less than a day, and charging them back up can take a full hour. That might change in the coming years, however. An Israeli company has posted a video to YouTube with the prototype for technology that can charge a cell phone battery in just 30 seconds. StoreDot, the company behind the video, says the technology was born out of Alzheimer's research at Tel Aviv University. During that research, specific amino acids were isolated, and they managed to use those amino acids and peptides to create nanocrystals. These crystals have special properties that enable StoreDot to use them in various devices, such as a battery.
That ought to improve all of our Twitter games.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, of course. Well, that wraps up my favorite Midstate edition, sports. I'm Spencer Shelton.
And I'm Brent Javalis.
And I'm Del Haimski. Have a great night, and be sure to join us next week.